I practically jaw dropped and had to scrape my jaw off the floor because at the time I didn't understand that every single unit of time is and can not be invested in self or in the relationship.
I have an advantage being able to be with someone as magnificent as Emilia and vice versa. And there's no way.
Because you invest every single unit of your time in becoming a better person, getting better, skill development, skill acquisition, mastery. And that is just what you live and breathe.
Conscious couples, business partners, and individuals, welcome to the Conscious Couples podcast, where we share our life, love story, and relationship expertise to help you consistently cultivate the most magnificent relationship possible.
Never again will you feel hopeless and alone in your intimate relationship challenges. We'll help you have the courage to be your authentic self, communicate effectively, and constructively resolve conflict.
Having accumulated thousands of hours coaching, speaking, podcasting, and hosting live events with conscious couples all over the world, Alan and I are here to guide you in all things relationships.
Thank you again for tuning into the one place where it's not about you or me, it's about the we. Conscious couples and individuals, welcome back to the one and only Conscious Couples podcast. Today we have episode 184, the 3 levels of quality time. Before we jump into this episode, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Next Level Podcast Solutions for producing this show and 66 others now. So combined, I track this every single day. We now work with 113 podcasters and business owners. Some of them are both, some of them are one or the other. If you want to start, grow, scale, monetize a podcast, reach out. My email will be in the show notes. Okay, as always, my love, ladies first, what is your intention for today's episode?
My intention for today's episode for our listeners is to ensure that they know what the 3 different types of quality time are in the context of this story that we're going to share, and to help them have better quality of time when they do share it together.
All right, so the number 1 love language in Gary Chapman's book is quality time. And so when you hear quality time, that's something that relationships throw around a lot. Emilia and I were on a episode, shout out to Michael Reed of the Adaptive Male podcast. We have been on there twice now as conscious couples in this studio, actually. Mm-hmm. And Michael, what's happening if you're listening? He opened with a question. This was on Tuesday, and he said, okay, what are you guys seeing in the 21st century with your clients? He didn't phrase it exactly.
What are some of the trends?
What are some of the trends that you're seeing?
Yep.
And I went into goals in conflict, core values in conflict, beliefs in conflict, politics, the whole thing, and how that sometimes causes ruptures in relationships. And most people are growing apart, not together. Mm-hmm. Emilia said, yes, and what I'm noticing is that most people are doing this. So if you're on YouTube, I have my phone out. And it was actually pretty funny. Emilia, while she was sharing this, I went and grabbed my phone live.
And pretended to doom scroll.
And pretended to doom scroll and not be paying attention. But Emilia essentially said, and I'll let you verbalize it too, that people are investing their time into their devices more than into themselves and more than into the relationship. So if you are out there and you're a conscious couple or a conscious single and you are investing more time into your phone, scrolling, games, whatever it is, than you are into quality time with your own self-improvement or quality time in your relationship, your future is going to suffer. And that's really what we wanted to talk about today, is not all quality time is quality.
Definitely not. And so that's where I had shared genuinely the emerging trend that we see. And you can research this, literally just simply Google the amount of time that is spent on devices as opposed to actual quality, meaningful face-to-face interactions.
Let's look up how much the average device use.
While you do that, the concern that I expressed as a practitioner in the field, and Alan and I, every single day, we are coaching people at our companies, we are helping people, teams, business owners really flourish in their life and intimate partners and relationships. It is extremely concerning. I had said with every 1 unit of time, right? So think we have 24 hours a day. If you zoom into every 1 minute, right, as 1 unit, what percentage of that 1 unit are you actually contemplating, thinking about, self-reflecting, even investing, learning, skill development, etc.? And the big concern that I had expressed in that was that the emerging trend, given the data that you're going to share in a second, is that so few couples are really keeping an eye on their usage of where their investment of every single unit of time is going. And I had said, the we, i.e. the relationship, is the byproduct of the investment of every single unit of time that each individual is investing in that compounds to be able to bring to the relationship. And so few people are being intentional about this and using their device or using their technology or whatever it is to really invest within themselves. And it's so, like I had said on that interview, it's not about the device. It's not about the technology. The technology is bad. It's about us from my perspective. So please do share.
So before I do that, Emilia, you used to have a podcast called the Why Power Podcast, and it has been rebranded to the Evolve Ventures Podcast. Shout out. Go check it out if you haven't.
EVP.
So, nice. My love. We have fun. So, you originally, we produce your show, my company, and Kevin coached you for a time in podcasting. Still does. Podcasting. Kev, shout out to you, man. Podcast coach. Now, when he was coaching you early on, this is when you and I had probably a year in or so, and he had witnessed me in past relationships struggle. Why isn't this working? I don't understand. I feel so misunderstood, all this stuff. And he shared with me verbatim, he said, I was on a call with Emilia, and I tried to explain to her that I don't spend every second of every day trying to get better. And when I said that to her, she went, why not?
I practically jaw dropped and had to scrape my jaw off the floor because at the time I didn't understand that every single unit of time is and can not be invested in self or in the relationship.
And honestly, it's funny because when Kevin shares that story, and Emilia and I normally in the past wouldn't even talk about this.
No, super insecure about it.
Yeah. So we do invest every second, minute, hour, day, week, month, quarter, year, decade into growth. And we do spend every second trying to get better. Even when we're relaxing and recovering, we call it intentional recovery. And we are purposely watching something that is of value that fills us up and we learn a lot. We're watching 2 shows right now that we're learning a lot from. But anyways, so my point of this is, to Emilia's point, listen, you don't have to live the way that we live. However, you do need to understand the principle of the more I invest in myself and the more Emilia invests in herself, the better our relationship is going to be. And we use the metaphor often of if you don't invest in the home, it's not going to appreciate in value. You were in real estate. What happens when someone doesn't redo the kitchen and redo the deck and reinvest in the home? You're not going to expect something to become more valuable. What happens to your car when you don't take care of it? So if you don't take care of your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual development, you basically don't become more valuable. And then you get more insecure, and it's a whole thing. So globally, and this is according to ChatGPT, this is what I asked. I said, what is the average screen time globally on devices per day? Globally, people spend an average of 6 hours and 40 minutes per day using internet-connected screens. This figure is consistent across multiple credible sources. Now, here's what I want everyone to understand. Number one, I'm on screens often too. However, this morning I was reading a book. It's called Bringing It to Scale, or something like that. It's about scaling companies, and it's by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. I was on Audible, so my phone is going to count that as screen time. So not all screen time is bad screen time. That is not what we're saying. Emilia and I we love tech. Her company is called Evolve Ventures Technologies. We have 30 connected devices in this home. We have a lot of devices. We're not against devices. We love tech. Okay, now, that said, the tech uses you or you use it. And if you're playing Angry Birds or scrolling mindlessly, let's just crunch some numbers here. So 6 hours and 40 minutes per day. Here we go. 6 times 60 plus, what did it say, 40?
40.
40. That's 400 minutes per day. That's 146,000 minutes per year. Watch this. That's 2,433 hours. That's 304 8-hour shifts. So per year, you could work 304 8-hour shifts earning money in a 365-year period instead of being mindlessly on devices. So to get to the point of this episode, here we go. There's 3 types of quality time. There's high quality, there's mid quality, and there's low quality. High quality time is Emilia and I, date night at the dinner table, just her and I, spending time together, candlelight date night. We are each other's primary focus. Mid quality would be what I call the triangle, which is Emilia and I, when we watch a show together or a movie together, we are not each other's primary focus, but imagine we're both watching the same film or the same show, and we're connected in that way. And then low quality time is basically, imagine she is doing her own thing over there, not paying attention, and I'm over here scrolling by myself, and we're not connected at all. And so, sweetheart, break this down in terms of what you see with your clients and what you recommend for our listeners.
Yeah, so I expressed that concern because of the fact that the low quality time is increasing and the medium quality time is increasing. And again, not all of this is bad, quote unquote, but if it's not on our radar, like I said at that interview, that's the concern. Because as tech continuously increases in our worlds, and as we become more reliant upon it and mindless, if you will, we are not thinking about our time the same way we used to, in the same way we could be, right? And again, from an investor's mindset, if I could give the gift of reflective practice, intentional time investment to young couples, elderly couples, anyone who wants to build a better, brighter future and a better relationship, it would be thinking about every single unit of time as an investor. Yeah. And what an investor thinks about is, how can I scale my time? How can I get back more time? How can I think about one unit of time for maximum leverage?
What's a good example of that? So, reading a book.
Yep. I was just going to give an example.
Is a way to gain knowledge and awareness, which then allows you to make better choices. So education is another good example. So you took a trauma certification. You invested time, effort, and money into that cert, and then that will pay dividends forever.
Forever.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's one of the most beautiful things about education, because no one can take that away from you, and that's a skill that you can always deepen your nuances in.
Hey everyone, this is Alicia Romanowitz. I wanted to take a second and give a shout out to Alan and Emilia. I've been listening to the Next Level University podcast for a while now, and I've also joined in on group coaching and book club, and I've gained so much value from these. And recently, I have started listening to the Conscious Couple podcast, and then joined in on their monthly meetups with relationship talks. And from here, my wife and I decided to jump on a call with them, and we had a few questions. This has just been a great experience. They not only provided us with some great tips and things to implement, they also got back with us and to check and see how we were doing. And that has just meant so much to my wife and I. And I just really wanted to give a shout out and thank them so much. And if you haven't had a chance to listen to the podcast or join in on the relationship talks, I highly recommend that. And also just jump on a call with them and get to know them a little bit better, and just really lean into this resource. It's just been so valuable, and I really appreciate it.
So, for example, I had shared with on that interview, you and I have a couple right now whom we coach, and they're in their mid-20s right now, and every single second, every single minute that they don't have people like you and I at all times surrounding them, encouraging them to invest every unit of time at educating themselves around the different skills, communication skills, their stress response system, their shame response system, things that you and I have talked about on this show. And the fact that they show up to relationship talks, coaching calls every other week is a huge, just complete investment of 60 minutes of their time that's going to pay forever in their future. What if they took what we said seriously and took this gift of every single minute of my time as a unit, it's currency that I can essentially vote or invest in something that's going to pay dividends in the future, be it education, a book, be it a podcast episode, be it something like, I don't know, maybe getting better at understanding how their central nervous system works. That will always help them.
Real quick, love, you have
Thank you.
Her floof on the lapel has fallen off.
Thanks for flagging it.
Oh, of course, I got you,
I
baby.
saw the air sign.
All right, so investor's mindset. High quality time, medium quality time, low quality time. If you want to be a high value man or a high value woman, you must invest your time intentionally. There is no way around it. We all have 168 hours a week. Hopefully you're sleeping at least 8. 8 times 7 is 56. That means you have 112 hours left. What are you doing with those 112 hours? And if you're only working 40 of them, that means you still have an additional 72 hours. Again, don't get lost in the numbers. Seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, quarters, years, decades. That is your life. If you are fortunate enough to live on this planet for 100 years, that's 365 times 100, 36,500 days. If I gave you $36,500 and I said, Emilia, you could never invest another dollar. You could never make another dollar. You have $36,500 in a bank account and you can never make another dollar. How carefully would you invest that money? Now, here's the thing that I want to share with all of you that might hit home. I have been in past relationships prior to Emilia. I didn't meet Emilia until I was 29 years old. It is not the same. I need to make this as clear as possible. Emilia has invested in renovating her kitchen. She has invested in renovating the deck and the landscaping, and she's had cathedral ceilings, and she's a mansion. Why are mansions more valuable than shacks? A shack you don't treat well. A mansion takes more time, more effort, more money, higher quality materials. Emilia has been investing in herself pretty much every day her entire life in trying to become more valuable, become a better person, smarter, stronger, more capable. And when you do that, you become higher value. And the truth is, I have an advantage being able to be with someone as magnificent as Emilia and vice versa. And there's no way.
Because you invest every single unit of your time in becoming a better person, getting better, skill development, skill acquisition, mastery. And that is just what you live and breathe.
But here's the thing, and thank you, that's true. You and I were with people in the past that didn't do that. And we were so naive, we didn't know they weren't doing that. We kind of had an inkling.
I don't know.
Yeah, we had an inkling.
I admit it.
Yeah. Okay. Not all value is equal. Not all time is equal. There's high quality people and there's high quality time and there's high quality relationships. And if you are a conscious couple or single and you want to have a magnificent relationship, you're going to have to invest your time more effectively. I mean,
facts.
Yeah, I could say it 1,000 different ways.
More strategically, everything.
The quality of your life will come down to how well you invest your time.
Even something as small and as practical as what Alan mentioned a little bit earlier. He and I just finally discovered 2 shows, not one, but 2 shows. Netflix shows, whatever it was.
One of them's Apple TV.
Apple
the other
TV.
one's Netflix, yeah.
The amount of time that he and I have invested, mostly him, because he's my curation specialist, our curation specialist. The amount of time and effort and energy and strategic thought that he's invested into his curation skills to make sure that the content that we consume and that we invest our mind into gives back to us. We have 2 shows now that we both adore.
Yeah.
We're learning so much about culture, about there's the nature fix that's there. Why I mention that is because not only is our medium quality time now exceptional, but that which spins off of how we've invested the medium quality of time, this shared focus, we're now able to communicate based off of a shared focal point, and that's enhanced the high quality time that you and I spend.
I want to give an example. So John Wick is a movie that Kevin, my business partner, had recommended to me. I didn't like it.
Horrible.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I thought it
Kev.
was terrible.
Not sorry.
Yeah, it is what it is. That film is entertaining, but there's not a lot of substance, and there's not a lot of education. There's not a lot of culture and learning, and there's certainly not a lot of nature. It's very dark in the city, the whole
Dark
thing.
vibe too.
So at the end of the day, we're not asking you to be like us, but we are saying you need to be, and this is what keeps jumping off the page. This is the last thing we'll get out of here, is everything should be by design. I always joke, I really love this. I say, what if Michael Phelps' coach was like, yeah, just swim around, man. That's what I'm saying. Honey, I knew you'd love that.
Oh my gosh.
That's what some people are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Facts.
jump in the pool, swim around. You don't track anything.
Figure
There's
it
no
out.
metrics. There's no habits. There's no watch. There's no heart rate.
There's no goals.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are fucking winging it in your relationship, it might turn out terrible. It is impossible for Michael Phelps to have won 28 medals, 23 of which are gold medals. And by the way, speaking of amazing curation, there's a documentary on HBO produced by Michael Phelps called The Weight of Gold that talks about the mental health challenges that Olympians face.
Yeah.
And my point is, your point is, everything should be by design. Sweetheart, wrap this in a bow. Let's get out of here.
If you're not thinking about this strategically, you are most probable to have a horrible relationship. And the stats are just continuously supporting that. And not only do we see those emerging trends, but Alan and I are future forecasters too. So we see what is happening right now, the current state of relationships, and we're taking in a whole crap ton of data as practitioners and as multidisciplinary learners, and we're projecting that into the future. So take what we say very seriously, and trust me, that will help you so much in the long-standing future of your relationship.
If you were ever to see Emilia and I out on a date and we're at a restaurant and you were to run into us, and if you're a conscious couple or single, please say hello. But you would never see two people sitting across the table being on their phones.
Never.
That would never happen. My quality time is curated with Emilia. I cherish it. And you're not going to see, and we've all seen people at restaurants together, couples, where they're not paying attention to each other at all. They're both on their phones at dinner. That's an example of a relationship that I think is going downhill, whereas Emilia and I are investing in ourselves and each other every single day, and we hope that you're doing the same. Of course you are. Okay, if you want to invest in your relationship more, Relationship Talks Coaching is the place to do it. We will make sure you grow together, not apart. And most importantly, it is not just counseling. We are going to help you achieve your goals and dreams together. We've helped people buy homes. We've had people turned around from the brink of divorce and they're flourishing, moved across the country, a whole thing. It is unbelievable. We will help you with all things goals, dreams, and love, health, wealth, life, and love. The link for the first one will be in the show notes. The first one is free, and we hope to see you there.
If you want to realign with your partner on life's most important things, Alan and I will be having a Relationship Talks event number 50 on August 20th. So the Monday that this podcast launches, it will be the preceding, I believe, Wednesday, the 20th. And this is, Alan mentioned, core values, core beliefs, core aspirations. That's what we call the GPS. If you and your partner are not aligned, you're going to consistently be butting heads, getting in fights, and eventually you'll grow apart. That is just the fact of the matter. So we welcome and invite you to join us there. It's been an extraordinary journey with Relationship Talks events.
So I have a fun thing I want to share with all of you and with her. Emilia doesn't know that I was going to do this, and sorry to be on my phone while you were talking, but this is for the episode.
Yeah.
I sent this to, I have something called the Next Level Book Club. We've done it for coming up on 5 years now, every Saturday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That link, production team, please also put in the show notes. I said book clubbers, and there's 55 people in this group. Book clubbers. I'm ahead of schedule on this, but I wanted to ensure all of you got the invite and registration link for Emilia and I's Relationship Talks event on Thursday next Thursday. Sent the Zoom link. It's our 50th anniversary event, and it's on realigning with your partner on the most important things, aka how to ensure you and your partner are both on the same page about the future you're both working toward. are you and your partner on the same page about the future and the dreams and the goals that you want? Someone in book club said, 50th anniversary? Question mark, with a laughy face. Amy, shout out to you. She said, excited for this. Shout out to you, Eugene. First names only. He said, I'm going to assume you meant 5th anniversary. Or have you revealed your identity as a vampire finally? I said, yeah. I said, it's our 5th. I said, it's our 50th event is what I meant. But yes, also a vampire. Explains why you still look so young. I said 350 years of wisdom with a youthful glow, LOL. No, but on a more serious note, I've taken longevity and aging very seriously.
No, it's not the unicorn blood.
Yes, exactly. Nice Harry Potter reference. Since I was 26 after my car accident when I decided to go all in on taking great care of the asset, brain and body. And that goes really well with what we're talking about today, which is take care of yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Invest in yourself. And if you don't have a partner who's investing in themselves, send them this episode. We're just saying.
Just saying.
All right, sweetheart. Anything you want to say before we go?
It's not about you.
Or me.
It's about
the we. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Conscious Couples podcast. We love connecting with the Conscious Couples community, so please check the show notes to connect with us and say hello on social media.
If you and your partner resonated with this episode, please leave us a 5-star review at the link in the show notes and share this with someone you love. Until next time, it's not about you or me, it's about the we. We'll talk to you next time.